E-learning is a lot easier than it looks. And it's not just about computers. E-learning is available not just through the internet, but also on CDs, DVDs and through your television.
Hombre, man, you've learnt the word already. It was just a doddle when I got on it.
You don't need to be an IT whiz-kid. It's designed to be user-friendly. But if you want to develop your IT skills, the opportunities are there.
Nowadays everything is run by computers, so if you don't know how to use a computer, I believe you will be struggling in life.
The many benefits from e-learning are provided by the CWU learning reps around the country on a vast range of subjects and interests, catering for the individual and the requirements of the membership.
And good evening, Noswetha.
À l'avant, on sprint au sommet pour le Grand Prix de la montagne, un démarrage de 2 clercs.
Not everybody knows everything about computers there is to know, you know. there's a lot of people who don't know a thing about them, and come up to your learning centre and we'll certainly put them on the right track to getting started.
I've tried to teach myself before and not been very successful, but the My Guide system was so easy. It was a bit like computers for dummies. Anyone can do it.
Because a lot of people we find who are new to computers are scared, and they just think they're going to break the thing, and that's why they don't do anything. So if you show them ways to get back or out of problems that they've, done, then at least we're there for their support.
Searching for jobs, you've got to go online. Paying your bills, it's cheaper to pay your bills online. Finding out things, you can find out so much stuff if you go online. So I think if you can go into your centre, do just a basic IT course and just get that skill, it can open your life and make it much easier, because everything these days seems to be going online.
So the union decided to have a beginner's course on computers. I thought, well, I'm going to have some of this. And it was on an afternoon, and we learnt what to do, not to be frightened of computers. Because I think people of my age, or maybe a bit older, are frightened of them.
And it's really good that the union has, got on board and is pushing this for all the staff so that they can get the skills they need.
Hombre, which if you don't know, you press a translate, means man. So obviously, hombre, man, you've learnt the word already, man. And it's a step-by-step guide if you want to, or interested in learning another language, how to learn, how to write, and how to speak.
It's very important that we create all different ways for people to develop the IT skills that they need, because otherwise you're actually really institutionalising the digital divide.
Go for it, because it leads to other things, and yeah, go for it. Brilliant.
Go for it and learn as much as you can. Go on the courses, whether it's the union learning courses or any course that is. Go for it, because you never know when you need to use it.
Go see your local union learning rep and sign up for it. Have a taster session. Try and work your way in. It's worthwhile doing, because computers, well, they're the future and happening now, and people need to be competent in using them.
El niño corre. El niño lee.
The course that I've been doing at the Learning Centre at the moment involves me using the internet. It's live mocha, and I'm learning Spanish, but you can also learn various other languages. When I first started doing the course, somebody mentioned live mocha to us online, and I wasn't right good with computers, but the base, it was just a doddle when I got on it. Someone told me what website it was, went on the website, and then it was self-explanatory from there. Because I'm not a computer literate person, but once I've gone on it myself, it's been brilliant. Yeah. A real learning curve.
We've got Spanish, French, German, Italian and Dutch. And it's totally interactive, so all they do is come in their own times or on dinner hours, put their headphones on, talk away.
Mujer, which is woman, and so on. and you basically go through the whole languages, the whole set of cards for your learning, which is niña, which is girl, translate, next lesson,
Niño.
which is boy. I would definitely recommend anybody who's interested in learning a language that can't afford to learn a language, because it's completely free, which I found out when I were on it. Also, if you're a person that travels a lot to like Italy, Spain, France, it also does them languages.
B C.
If you're doing a course that is a free course, which most of the courses that we signpost people to are free courses, then if you find it is just too much for you, no problem. You can drop out and it hasn't cost you anything.
The CWU can help a lot in helping people to get online. Obviously the message is to make sure that people who think that this boat's left the harbour, that it's passed them by, to make sure that they're raising awareness across the union members to say that anyone can do it and that there is the help and support there. Obviously the learning centres that the CWU have put in place across the different sites are really, really important, because you've already got that technology there, you've got internet access, and most important of all, you've got staff in those centres who can help people who are frightened and don't know what to do. So I think the union's role is to help spread the word, to make sure that there is support there when people need it, and obviously to keep the centres open for as many hours during the day and many days during the week as they can.
If you do have a situation where you've got access, some people have got access to IT and some people haven't, it does create a two-tier workforce. You end up with a situation where, if you're fortunate enough to have workplace access to IT, you could perhaps get a vocational course in IT. And if you're unfortunate enough not to have that access, then you also don't get that course. So you're actually creating a wider divide if you're not very careful.
We've got quite a huge digital divide still in Britain. Part of the union's role, all the trade unions, is to work to eliminate that divide so people can be included rather than excluded.
Union Learn have, for the last 10 years, been developing a project and approach called the Digital Divide. And the purpose of that primarily was to think about how we could reach the parts that other learning wasn't able to reach. And when we did a bit of research, we realised that quite often those learners were the most disadvantaged in the workplace, either because they had lots of responsibilities outside of work, or they worked in an isolated way, shift workers. So it was really to think about how can we develop the tools to initially reach those people, and once we've got them participating, provide them with the opportunities that they wouldn't have been able to engage with without the digital divide. So technology has been a very powerful weapon in reaching those learners.
So people who are digitally excluded are increasingly more and more excluded from society as more and more services are only available online and more savings are only available online. So if you're digitally included, you're much more connected with your family, with your friends, and also with both private and public sector services as well.
One part of e-learning that we can do, it actually involves free portions of courses run by the Open University. Which can be accessed on any computer.
I liaise a great deal with trade unions in the region and community organisations, and attempt to promote new open learning opportunities for people who've hitherto missed out on higher education. When the Open University was set up in 1969, it was touted as a university of the airwaves, and now we're moving into a situation where we're also becoming a university of the internet.
Unions and Union Learn have thought really hard about e-learning from our core values of including people and justice and fairness. And secondly, really, often it provides learners with a different way to learn than some of those memories of taught experiences at school if they didn't enjoy that. So I think it's a bit about learning styles, a bit about providing enjoyment, but once learners are on the ladder, providing them with the full meal, because they surprise themselves and quite often take their learning in many different directions.
So there's real good reasons why people should look seriously at developing IT skills.
Using verbs correctly. Using punctuation.
They can go on holiday, they can book the holidays through a computer. Some people think it's a lot of money to pay for a laptop, but at the end of the day, if you use it a lot, it's worth it.
Go for it. Brilliant.
Computers are in everyday life, and we need to use computers in everyday life.
Don't be nervous. I think if you go and talk to ULR, they will go through the course with you.
The true benefits of e-learning is the flexibility. We don't have to rely on providers from colleges, we don't have to rely on actual timetables. All we do, open the room up, and if somebody's got 5 or 10 minutes and they just want to access something quite quickly and have a bite-sized lesson, they can do that. If they've got a couple of hours, they can also come in and carry on studying. So everything's flexible.